Hello and welcome to Rainbow Stars channel. And today I'm here to talk to you guys about an update for 2024, how I've been doing, stuff about baby girl, and on top of that, ignore the trash, I'm going to throw it away, it's just the end of the night. Where was I? Yes. Because at the end of the night I clean up the whole house before I go to bed. So this is just my routine. Right now it's like 2 in the morning. Yeah, anyway. But people who know me, I am very much ADHD, and I do get off topic very easily. So here we go. But yeah, so the update in 2024. So my uncle who attacked me with a baseball bat is dying of pancreatic cancer. So there's that. Although I am a little bit upset about that because I was honestly hoping he'd live a very long life and that, just to piss off Mary, and also for the sake of my mother, I was hoping he'd live a lot longer. But alas, that is not happening, and that trash is really annoying me. I'm gonna throw it away. I've got to do it. Anyway, yeah. So for the sake of my mom, I was hoping he'd live for a very long time. Also, it would just be better for reconciliation on behalf of her and her brother. But anyway, so that's going on. Not exactly thrilled about it, but also kind of like not knowing how to feel about it, given the circumstance, how he treated me. The fact he never apologized or felt remorseful kind of made him seem off. But then again, if you have cancer, maybe it can affect your brain. So I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know whether I should be really devastated and mourning the loss or if I should be indifferent. But honestly, I'm having conflicted emotions, so don't know how to feel about it other than I feel really bad for my cousins. I feel really bad for my mother. Because, he is my uncle and he is loved. So that is kind of sad. Moving on. So that's that. Then there was some drama. Because always in our family, there has to be something dramatic going on. So my sister had made a post on a GoFundMe page for my aunt and uncle in their situation, and she had been off of her mood stabilizers for a few days and had a lapse in judgment and decided to put a post basically re-inciting all of the things that these people have done to our family. And so there's that. And obviously that caused a little bit of an uproar, especially with my neighbor Andrea, who happens to be my second cousin, I guess. I'm not sure. She's a cousin, distant cousin. But kind of ticked her off a little bit, and so they had a back and forth. And in the back and forth, I come up. I don't know exactly. I think it's because I talked to my sister about how Andre had commented that I'm lazy. We'll get more to that in a minute. But yeah, I'm fatter than ever, by the way. I've gained so much weight. This shit has made me binge eat like no other mother. I'm gonna have to go on a strict diet. I've already instructed my mom to help me with that. So we're no longer buying any sweets. We're just buying salads and healthy foods, and hopefully the health kick will, just the change in eating habits will help me. So if I can just stay off the Hot Pockets, I think I'll be okay. And all the pizza and all the high-fat shit. Anyway, moving on. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. So, Andrea had told my mother today, I guess, after stating stuff about the GoFundMe and all that, then she wanted to go ahead and bring my name into shit and say, she's lazy and disrespectful. And I'm sitting there thinking, how in the hell am I disrespectful? I just go day to day, basically, trying to pick up after my son, Take care of my daughter, breastfeed her properly, feed him properly, throw away the garbage at the end of the night, and just do my part on, taking care of my mother and all that shit. I'm sitting there thinking, how in the heck am I disrespectful? What have I ever done that's disrespectful around here other than just breathe? Apparently, just breathing and existing is disrespectful to these people. But yeah, she said, oh, well, she should be working and blah, blah, blah. How in the fuck am I going to be working when I have 2 children under the age of 5 and no money for any form of childcare? You tell me that. Not only that, but even if I could work, which I can't because I'm physically disabled, you know, it's just, even if that were the case, I'd be useless. I wouldn't be able to take care of my children. I'd be in so much pain I can't lift a finger. How is that helping anything? Sure, it would be bringing in an income. Maybe that would help with financial stress, but I mean, what the fuck? How am I supposed to manage 2 children on top of being unable to move at the end of the day with a full-time job? Even if I worked part-time, that in itself is unreasonable too, because my hands are killing me. My whole body hurts, and that's every single day. And that's just for me. I have a hernia that I need to get repaired now. So I'm going to have another surgical procedure after my C-section. So that's not fun. I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, how is it that people can judge others so heavily? I have a genetic disease. I've got a major clinical problem. And it gets worse by each passing year. And my injuries don't heal. They just stay there. And I'm in constant pain. How is it that I'm dealing with all this shit in my body and out, and then people have the audacity to sit there and say, oh, she's lazy? Because at the end of the night, I'm too goddamn sore and tired to do anything. Other than the basic cleaning of after my children. I clean up after my child, and that's about it. That's it. And sometimes I leave the toys on the floor because what's the point in putting those away? They're just going to get strewn everywhere anyway because my kid's autistic, and that's what happens. But if the only mess that's the problem is the toys, I'm doing a pretty goddamn good job. At least there's not trash everywhere and all that. And I make sure to pick up all the garbage and wipe down the table where my son eats and take care of the mess left behind from my kid. I don't take care of the mess left behind by everybody else, though. I'm not going to be somebody else's maid. My dad needs to pitch in with some of the cleaning. But, my mom's disabled, too. We're both in the same boat. We're both in a lot of pain. So, it's not just me not doing any cleaning. What do they want from me? I don't get it. I mean, just trying to sweep the kitchen, I was in so much pain that I had to sit down. And it hadn't only been 1 minute of trying to sweep something. So, if I'm in that much pain, I don't see how anybody thinks that I could do much more. But, whatever. I'm just tired of people making that insinuation that because I'm disabled, I'm lazy. I'm the one that gets up every morning, early ass in the morning, by the way, to deal with my daughter, feeding her, breastfeeding her. And then I get up, I make food for my son, I get him fed, dressed, changed. We try potty training. I try teaching him, basically school grade stuff at this point. He's a genius. He really is. He's behind on social skills, but when it comes to learning the ABCs, he knows his entire ABCs. He knows all of his colors. He knows all of his shapes. And at this point, he can even spell his name. And he's only 3.5. So I think I'm doing a pretty goddamn good job with him, too. I believe he is autistic and on the spectrum. We will be getting him diagnosed or looked at. It's just we're on the wait list for an entire year. So I'm trying to get him in anywhere I can. So I made another appointment with somewhere else. So we're just going to see who bites first and try to get him in somewhere. But healthcare is really backed up in this country. So good luck with that shit. And forgive all the cursing. I'm not really gonna get money off of this anyway. This is just an online journal to begin with, so whatever. But no, it just hurts my feelings a little bit that I'm getting so much judgment from a person whom only works part-time and lives off of her son's disability. So there's that. I mean, she's got her own can of shit going on in her life. She has no business talking smack about me, especially to my mom or to other people, because what she's saying is an opinion. And an opinion, you can have it, but that doesn't mean go and spread it everywhere when it's misinformation and you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. She doesn't know my day. I don't tell her what my day has or what I do in that day. But like after the learning and the playing and I have to give both children equal attention, by the way. So I have to give him attention, her attention for their emotional, mental, and physical growth. So basically I'm running like a school at this point, but with different grade stuff for different children. Anyway. And just keeping up with doctor appointments. Right now we're going and getting my daughter cranial reshaping therapy. And then she's in therapy along with my son. My son goes twice a week. She goes once a week. So there's that on my plate, along with my doctor appointments, which there are many, and his dental appointments. And then I have to basically maneuver around all this and work on getting my disability going through and doing all that paperwork, trying to get back onto food stamps. So I have there is rarely a time when I have time to breathe, let alone sit. All right? Like I'm on my feet all day, running rings around my kids all day long. And the only break I might get is whenever I send my son out to play with his grandfather. And they go out there for an hour or so, maybe 2, and then he comes back in. And during that time, I can work on my daughter's therapy at home because she needs physical therapy for her torticollis to get to the point where she can move her head around properly so that we can get her head shape better. So it's just a lot. It's a lot of work. And by the way, if you've noticed, yet again, the shoulder, this one, yeah. If I put my other shoulder down, you can actually see the difference. Triple the size, right? Yeah, I should be working a full-time job. I should be working, my ass off to the point where my hands don't work anymore and my legs don't want to function, and to the point where my shoulders can't no longer raise above my head. Yes, I should be working. Goddamn. Like, here's the spiel with all my problems, just so you guys can get a kind of a picture on my physical disability. So I've got nerve damage in both my legs to the point where I can't even feel my feet anymore. I feel like I'm floating off the ground. That's special. Let me tell you, it's a weird experience. It's hard to explain to somebody who doesn't have the problem, but I can feel the knee, and I apply pressure from the knee whenever I'm driving because I can't feel the feet. So anyway, I've adapted. But yeah, so no, can't feel my feet anymore, which is a blessing and a curse. And I've got nerve pain from my lower spine because I have a disc that's inflamed that's pressing against the nerves in my lower spine, causing pain and temporary paralysis on my cycles. And I've got a slap tear in my left shoulder. I've got 3 tendons unraveling in my right shoulder blade. I have torn countless muscles, including 3 on my back. It's just extensive. I've got carpal tunnel in both my wrists. I've got nerve damage in all of my fingers, the tips of them mostly, and I've got random ass swelling in my left knee. I don't know why that occurs, but it does. And I also have left Achilles tendonitis on my right ankle, I have a hyperextension of a ligament in the side there, so it's just kind of floating around like this, waving around in the wind. I've got fibromyalgia, which causes the muscles in my body to constrict and continue to do so. So I get like body-wide cramps all the time. And that doesn't help anything either. So, and basically fibromyalgia is a nerve disorder as well. It just sends misfiring of nerves and all that, and could explain why I have nerve damage. So, on top of that, I have an enlarged liver. I have a goiter on my thyroid gland. I don't sweat in the summer, so there's that. So I don't sweat at all. So if it's a hot environment, I can't work there. My joints swell even in my fingers. I have swollen joints in my toes. I've got swelling in my chest now, most likely from the soft tissue in my rib cage, most likely from that, an inflammation response there. It's just, it feels like it's ongoing, but like my whole body aches. I don't remember a time when I haven't felt pain. I keep injuring myself, and there's always a new injury, hyperextension, twisting of the ankles, a fall. I had 2 recent falls where I twisted both my ankles, so I'm walking on hyperextended ankles, and yeah, so there's that. But yeah, definitely, with everything going on with me, I've actually told other people as well what's going on with me, and some of these people were like, oh my god, why aren't you on disability? You should be on disability because I have less problems than you, and I'm not on disability. And I'm on disability, so I was sitting there thinking, well, I didn't want to go that route because it's a fixed income, and it would basically limit the amount of money I can bring in. So I didn't want to do that, but after trying and attempting to work 2 different jobs, a few years back, I was in so much pain I couldn't walk at the end of the day. I just trudged myself to bed immediately after I'd get home. I didn't even eat dinner. And albeit, yeah, I lost a lot of weight, which is great. But I was working in a walking boot, and that was hard on every part of me. I tore muscles on the job and ended up in the hospital frequently. For new injuries, new falls, new problems, just by grabbing too many plates. And eventually, my hands got so swollen, I couldn't even make a fist anymore. And it got to the point where my fingers would get stuck. So like trigger finger, where you couldn't maneuver the finger out of a certain position. And it got to the point where I couldn't work my hands anymore. And that was just a lot. And sure, I pushed past the pain. I was on drugs at the time that the doctor prescribed, obviously. They were prescription medications, but it was an opiate that I was on, Tramadol, but it really didn't do much of anything for me. And I was on a muscle relaxer, and I was on an anti-inflammatory drug. So, I had to be on all these medications just to work. And even then, by the end of the night, I was in so much pain I couldn't even move. So, it's just not worth it. Especially now that I have 2 children to take care of, I can't be incapacitated. I have to be able to do things for them. And, if by trying to go to work, that ruins my body, then I'm less of a parent, and I can't give to them what I should be able to give to them. I can't lift my son anymore with this new hernia and all that. That's just, I can't. It's sad, but it is the case. It's hard for me to lift my daughter. She's getting too heavy for me. I shouldn't be lifting anything above 10 pounds. That's what my doctor told me. And yet I'm doing that. So, whoop-de-doo. But no, it's just, I have all these problems and they're not going to go away. It's a lifelong pain that I'm going to be in. And without medication, hardcore drugs, I'm not going to be able to function. And that's just not okay. That's why I know for a fact I'm disabled. I can't stay healthy enough to go to work. That's what disabled is. So, in lieu of the fact that I am disabled, I am very much sensitive, especially when people go, "Oh my goodness, she's so lazy. She doesn't do anything," as if they know me. They're not here seeing everything I do in a day. They're not here seeing me, basically get down on the floor with my kid and work on his conversational skills along with his ABCs, spelling his name, and all of these other things that we do, learning how to hold a pencil correctly, learning how to go to the potty, learning how to communicate going to the potty, working on, just imaginary play, and then having time with my daughter, doing her physical therapy, doing what she needs, and getting her dressed for the day, and then doing her bath time at night, and taking care of all of their basic needs, feeding, clothing. Like, sure, I'm not bringing in income right now, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to be. I am working on my disability, and right now we are making headway. They contacted me, said they got my paperwork, so now we're taking the next step. I'm going to go see one of their doctors, and then we'll go from there. So, and on top of my physical shit, I've also got some mental shit too, but we're not going to go into that. I feel like my physical stuff is enough rather than me bringing in mental crap as well that I suffer with. But I am going to go to therapy for all that as well. But yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. I shouldn't have to prove myself to anybody in this family. And it sucks that one of my cousins are like, "Oh, being so judgmental," when I'm not over here saying, "Oh, well, had you gotten your kid surgery on time, then he wouldn't be disabled to the extent that he is mentally." Or judging her on, "Oh, she only works part-time and lives on her son's disability." I'm not over there talking smack about her. So I don't see why she thinks I'm such a fun target to poke at when I'm doing everything in my power. I've even dealt with these goddamn flower beds over here. My mom wanted to do the flower bed, so I weeded the whole thing by hand. And obviously I had to wear hand braces, and it took me a month to get it done, by the way, because it was really hot and also really difficult for my hands to function. Like, even holding the phone like this, it hurts me. And typing hurts. Poking the screen, just typing anything hurts. I don't know. Everything's screaming all the time. I'm taking like crap tons of Tylenol. It's not doing shit for me. But I also don't want to be on narcotics either because, like opiates or anything. Because personally for me, I'd rather be clear-headed and function the best I can, even given the fact that I'm in pain, rather than mask the pain entirely and then have my mind just go, so. So yeah, it's just, unfortunate. It really bothers me. It obviously bothered me enough to make this whole vlog about it. Like, I don't see how she got on the topic of, "Oh, well, do you know what your daughter sent to Mary?" and open up a can of worms with her, and then all of a sudden bring me up into the conversation. "Oh, by the way, your other daughter is disrespectful and lazy." Well, gee, you know who else is disrespectful? I can tell you, because somebody calling somebody else lazy or disrespectful, that's pretty disrespectful in itself. I'll tell you, that's like the black kettle, the kettle calling the whatever black. I can't even remember that expression. I'm not even going to try. It's late. It's like almost 3 in the morning, but I had to get ready for tomorrow today, because we're going to go to Fort Worth today and get my kids' helmet adjusted and also see her father in town. And then that's a whole day trip. My son's going to be babysat by my neighbor and my mother. So he'll be set. He'll be happy here while I go do that. And it's just frustrating. I got all this crap going on, and yet somebody out there is like, oh, that woman's lazy. You know what a true lazy person would do? A true lazy person would have somebody else raising her kids for her. A true lazy person wouldn't even get out of bed. A true lazy person would just pass off the kids all the time and sleep all day. Because that's what laziness is. I get up every single day. I do my tasks as a mother, cleaning up after my child, and then I go to bed. That's it. That's my job. That's what I do. And if that's not good enough, well, she can bite me. I don't give a shit what she thinks. Even though it hurts my feelings. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut contact with her completely. I don't need somebody in my life that's going to be disrespectful to me, especially two-faced, and act like we're all great, and then all of a sudden, like, talk smack behind my back. That's just not going to fly, and I'm not going to do it. So, that's another toxic individual I got to get out of my life at this point. And if everyone wants to have a relationship with her, that's fine. And you know what's funny? I even babysat for her. On multiple occasions, I had babysat her son for her. And she's like, she's gonna talk that shit about me? Whatever. I mean, she could think I'm lazy just because I haven't been able to unpack from the move yet. But, like, I've had a lot of shocking things going on. I had the whole shocking assaults that I moved out for a long time. We had the whole family drama when the family moved. Then we had a lot of other issues we had to deal with. And in the meantime, I'm trying to catch my son up so that whenever he reaches the age of 5, he can go to school. So it's ridiculous. There's just been, and then the pregnancy, me being so sick during the pregnancy. And I was very sick during that pregnancy. And then after the pregnancy, I had to heal from my C-section. And then there was taking care of this newborn and my toddler. How in the fuck do I have any time to unpack? You tell me. How am I supposed to make time to unpack when I am single-handedly dealing with 2 children by myself? And on occasion handing off the baby to mom so I can address my son's needs. And mom only has her for, like, maybe an hour to give me, like, that much time to deal with my son. And have one-on-one with him. So, that's not even a break. Let's get real. So, that's just frustrating. 2024 has gotten off to a really fucked up start. The eclipse was really fucking cool, but, like, we're not even going to go into all the other bullshit going on around here. But yeah, we've just been having to deal with things as they come, little by little, and I'm doing the best I can, trying to get this place ship shape, but, like, the only way I'm going to get this place ship shape as well is if my mother is in on it, because I can't just get rid of whatever I want. It's not my house, it's not my things. It's her house, it's her things. We need to go through all the things in this house and decide what we want to keep and what we want to toss. We have to get rid of things to fit it. So, there's that. That takes a long ass time. And whenever we moved in here, I was the whole reason we got to move in here. I packed up almost the entire house in Fort Worth by myself despite my pain. And then, when we got here, I was the one who went through all the closets and took all of the, took all the documents out and filtered through all the papers and the taxes and all this other bull. Just all this other crap. And got rid of stuff from my mother so that we could move in here. So, I got us in this place, essentially, single-handedly, because My dad didn't want to pack. He wanted to drink. And my sister was too busy looking for her own house to be in, that she didn't want to help me to pack. And then at the tail end of it, I had to call my mom and be like, "We need to bring the reinforcements because I'm not going to get it done on time." Because I was chasing around my toddler at the time, as well as trying to get us packed. So there was a lot going on. So I just, yeah, color me lazy, I guess. I don't do shit. I don't go above and beyond to break my body for people. What do I look like? A slave? A maid? I'm not either of those things. I'm also not furniture, and I'm a human. And I don't appreciate people going over there and talking smack about me when I'm doing the best I can with what I got. I don't see her having a shoulder 3 times the size of Manhattan and being able to function. Or having my fucking hands fall asleep when I am sleeping. I wake up to my hands tingling, trying to come back to life, like my feet have fallen asleep before when I've been sleeping. So I'm constantly rolling and tossing and turning and uncomfortable. And this shoulder is also swollen too. It's not perfect either. So I know it looks like I'm leaning. I'm not. That's not a shrug. That is swollen. And so with me having swelling everywhere, especially my chest, my ankles, my, just behind my knees, I'm just always swollen and always in pain. And I don't get it. I don't get what these people want from me. I know what my mother wants from me, and that is an income to some capacity, which I'm working on that through the disability service. But you know how long it takes to get on disability? Years. And then once you're on disability, it takes you a few years before your medical kicks in. So it's just a mess. I'm doing the best with what I got. And some people are like, "Why don't you go on child support? Why don't you do child support?" Well, one, I don't even know the name of the first baby daddy. Like, I thought I did, but he lied to me, and he fell off the face of the earth. I don't even know how to find him. I don't even know how the state could find him. So, that ship has sailed. And as for this other baby daddy, we're on such good terms, amicably, that I've asked him for $500 to help cover her medical treatment, and he's doing that. So, he'll be getting me the money eventually, and I'm not going to pressure him too hardcore about it because I want us to be on good terms. Whenever you take somebody for child support, you kind of ruin their life a little bit, and then they don't want to work with you anymore. So, because then you garnish their wages, until the kid's 18. That's just, I'd prefer him helping with the big stuff anyway, and being able to see his kid, and him falling in love with her rather than, resenting her and me for existing. So anyway, I don't know. All I know is that I'm just tired. I'm mentally, physically, and emotionally tired. And whenever I hear that, even though I'm doing a good fucking job, with what I'm supposed to be doing as an individual and as a mom, I still got people talking smack about me just because I'm physically injured all the time. I'd love to see them work and do what I do with my body. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see them be able to get on the floor and everything, especially with my damaged hip on the left side and my damaged body, and then play with the kid and then creak back up like a zombie trying to walk. I'd love to see them, try to lift a 54-pound toddler, even though it's ill-advised, and tearing something in their body, and then them being like, well, that's just another day. I'm pretty sure anybody that's in my shoes would be bedridden, not up and about to this extent. My back is killing me, my neck hurts, my whole body hurts. And it's all the time, and it's relentless, and sometimes it makes it to where I can't sleep because I'm in so much pain. So, I'd love for somebody to be in my shoes, and then while they're being a whiny little bitch, I'm over there being like super mom. So, yep, that's just how I feel. If a normal person were in my place, they'd be crying about it. But I've been in so much pain for so long, it's just another day for me. So, yeah. Yep, nobody could do what I'm doing with my body. I'm pretty sure another disabled person might be able to. Because again, you get used to the pain over time because it's just another day for you. It's just so normal after a while that injuring yourself is just like, whatever. Let's get up out of bed. Let's get dressed. Let's make something for your child. Let's do something today. I don't just lay there. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that a lot of other disabled people could. They know what I'm talking about. The judgmental attitudes of people. And also, she also downplays my experience when my uncle attacked me with a baseball bat, which I don't know why she does that. But like, she's like, well, it's not like you got hit. It's not like he hurt you. You don't have to be hurt by somebody in order to not be fucked up by somebody. For example, somebody holds you at gunpoint. They have a gun pointed at your head, and they got their finger on that trigger. And you just know they're going to shoot you. But they don't. And they lower the gun, they laugh at you, and they walk off. You know, if that happened to somebody, hypothetically, regardless of if they were injured or not, the psychological impact is still there. You were still held at gunpoint, and you were still standing there helpless and defenseless, and you still get mentally screwed up by it. People have had PTSD from such experiences. Now, as for this experience, yes, it was a baseball bat, but that's a blunt object, and I would argue that's even more scary than a gun, because a gun, they shoot you, and you can't feel it. The adrenaline's running so high, you can just, I mean, you know you were shot, but you're not able to register. It's not as bad or as personal as being bludgeoned to death. That's kind of a different experience. So, when the bat was over my head, and I was pregnant at the time, and then he put that bat against my stomach like he was thinking about hurting my baby, that mentally did a number on me. And I would not wish that experience on any woman, especially pregnant. And you know, this woman that I'm talking about, this cousin of mine, she's supposed to be a Christian. I say supposed to be because Christians are supposed to be very understanding and charitable and kind. And she is none of those things, apparently. So, she's a really piss poor Christian. Yeah, I'm able to talk smack about her just like she talks smack about me. But yeah, at this point, I'm just going to contact from her and just live my life and just do the best I can with what I got. And baby girl is cooing up a storm, and she's so sweet and cute and cuddly, and she's laughing now, so that's wonderful. And my son, like I said, he's so intelligent, and he's catching up with his words, and he's moving up in his therapy, so that's wonderful. We got to work on the echolalia, because he echoes back all the time, so we're trying to break him of that habit, but we'll get there. So, anyway, better get up and deal with my garbage. And then after the garbage is cleaned up and I wipe down and I straighten up a little bit in here, then I'll lay down for a few hours, get up at the crack of dawn, and make way to Fort Worth. So, oh, it's a mess. But yeah, remember, when you view peace, love, unity, and respect, and remember to bump on that like button if you enjoy my online rambling. Alright, guys.